Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Revealing the Narc, and on this channel we dive deep into the intriguing world of narcissism. I'll often use public figures as examples to illustrate how these behaviors can manifest in real life. If this sounds interesting to you, please like and subscribe, and I should mention, everything I say is in my opinion, and it's all allegedly. I'd also like to clarify that I'm not a therapist, and the content shared on this channel is not meant as professional advice. So let's get into this video. If you follow me on X, you might have seen that I have been posting quite a few videos from the 2020 Commonwealth Day where Meghan wore that green dress, and I've noticed some really odd behavior, and what I want to do in this video is kind of set the stage. I looked up some articles that have talked about the time that kind of tell us where Harry and Meghan's minds and feelings may have been at that time. Then I'm going to show you the clips and talk through them. There will be 3 clips, I believe. And then I will follow that with 7 potential reasons why we may be observing this behavior. So let's get into it. So this first article, the title is, and I hate when they call her that, but Princess Catherine's last-minute act of kindness to diminish tension with Meghan. Princess Catherine reportedly made a last-minute gesture of kindness to an upset and emotional Meghan Markle at the 2020 Commonwealth Day service as tensions heightened behind the scenes. And this was actually an article published this year, March 11. And also, just to also set the scene even more, I believe this was their very last royal engagement. So you would expect that there would be a little bit of emotional feelings, especially because Harry and Meghan didn't get what they wanted, and I don't think they expected that Megxit would happen. So let's get into the article. Prince Harry and Meghan won't be in attendance after stepping back 4 years ago. It was the last event they attended as senior members of the royal family, and they weren't happy to learn they were expected to make their way to the front of Westminster Abbey, where they would wait with the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh ahead of the arrival of the other senior royals. So what they're talking about here is they won't be in attendance of the 2024 Commonwealth Day, and they're talking about Harry and Meghan's last appearance. I think they expected that they would be showing up with the other members of the senior members of the royal family, but they would actually be waiting with the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh ahead of the arrival of the other senior royals. Not wanting more public drama, the Prince and Princess of Wales reportedly attempted to defuse the awkward situation by offering to join Harry and Meghan as they waited for the arrival of the late Queen and their father, King Charles III. So it's important to remember that by this point, the Oprah interview hadn't been done, Spare hadn't been done, the Netflix documentary hadn't been done. So really, the only conflict that existed between Harry and Meghan and Prince William and Princess Catherine are things that pretty much happened behind closed doors. Things didn't go to plan, however. The Mail Online reports as 2,000 already printed orders of service very clearly stipulated that Prince William and Princess Catherine would be arriving with the main party. Unfortunately, this peace offering reportedly didn't quell existing tensions, and the two couples appeared to exchange very brief and uncomfortable greetings as they took their seats in the Abbey. Keep in mind, if the rumors are true, and it's all allegedly, Princess Catherine would have experienced or would have seen how mean Meghan was to Princess Charlotte, would have seen how Meghan allegedly bullied the staff, and if you believe Tom Bower's side, which I do, that it was Meghan that made Princess Catherine cry and not the other way around, in my opinion. So let's get into another article describing how Prince Harry says he felt, and it says he felt distant from his family at final Commonwealth service, looked cold and felt cold. So this was an article published in December of 2022, and the heading says the Duke and Duchess of Sussex described their final week as senior working royals in the second part of their Netflix series released on Thursday. In episode 5 of Harry and Meghan, now streaming on Netflix, the Duke of Sussex, 38, revisited the farewell week he and wife Meghan Markle had in England in March 2020, after it was confirmed they would be stepping back from their senior royal roles. Harry said the stay was a whirlwind as they packed back-to-back engagements into a few short days. The first time that we saw the other members of the family was in public at Westminster Abbey, Meghan recalled. So basically, during this trip that they were in the UK, they hadn't seen the family until what we see on the cameras at Westminster Abbey. We were nervous seeing the family because all the TV cameras and everybody watching at home and everybody watching in the audience, it's like living through a soap opera where everybody else views you as entertainment, Harry said. Says the guy who's standing in front of a camera and giving this information for the Netflix documentary. It's pretty funny. Okay, so let's get into a couple of the clips from that day. So these two clips are of them entering Westminster Abbey and leaving Westminster Abbey, and although it might not seem like a big deal, but they are not holding hands. They're walking in, and actually Meghan, usually she swings her arms when she wants to hold Harry's hand, and she's not when they're walking in. And when they're walking out, Harry is almost messing with his button and his hand is not available to hold her hand. Some people have commented that this might be because he might have been wired and he was hiding a wire allegedly, but I'm not certain. All I know is that their usual form is holding hands, and they were not when they walked in or when they walked out. To me, in this clip, Meghan is rushing out and her mask slips, and that's what we see. So again, it just seems that they are not themselves, and Meghan, at the very least, is not happy to be there. And in this final clip, Meghan is doing that thing she did at the Endeavor Awards where she was wearing that blue dress, where she will lock her elbow while holding Harry's hand to try to control who they're speaking with. Meghan wanted to leave. She didn't want to get pushed back into that or pulled back into that conversation, but you see that she ends up having to turn around and engage with the person that's talking to Prince Harry. So to summarize, what we saw is Harry and Meghan not behaving like they ordinarily do, and Meghan being in a rush to leave. We see that they're not holding hands. We see Meghan's mask slip, and we see Meghan trying to get out of there as soon as possible. And of course, I've only shown you 3 clips, but I'll be releasing more clips on my Twitter over, I don't know, however long. And you'll all see that her behavior is really, really strange. So what I want to do is dive into her behavior and analyze it through a narcissistic lens. So what led to this behavior, and what does it reveal about her character? First, let's talk about the need for validation. Meghan and Harry reportedly felt coldness from the royal family during the event, which likely triggered Meghan's desire for attention and recognition. Narcissists thrive on validation from others, and when they don't receive it, their frustration can be palpable. In Meghan's case, in my opinion, not being embraced by the royal family may have felt her feeling invisible, prompting her to seek affirmation in other ways, possibly through dramatic expressions or emotions. Second, it might be having this victim mentality. So she may have a sense of being sidelined from senior royals, and this could reinforce a narrative where Meghan feels wronged. Narcissists often interpret social dynamics as personal grievances. So this perception can lead to feelings of entitlement and indignation, as Meghan might believe she deserves the same treatment and acknowledgement as other royals, which we know that this is true of Meghan. This mentality not only fuels her frustration, but can also create a divide between her and the family. And there's a huge crack in that relationship, right? Next, manipulation of emotions. So Meghan's behavior during the event, including her mask slips, may have been strategic. By expressing her exasperation, she could have been trying to draw attention to her feelings and elicit sympathy from those around her, including Harry. Narcissists are adept at using their emotional states to influence others, often shifting the focus onto their own needs and desires, which can overshadow the dynamics at play in the broader setting. And actually, this is something that I feel when I'm around family members that I believe are on the narcissistic side, and I will tell myself that I need to picture a bubble around me and that their emotions are not going to penetrate this wall, because I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's being a people pleaser. I don't know if it's being an empath, but literally people's burdens end up on my shoulders. And I have to remind myself I'm in a bubble. Their feelings cannot penetrate this bubble. And I also tell myself their problems are not my problems, because a lot of times they will talk about their problems and I seriously feel like I'm the one living in it. And I don't know if it's the way that they express it, or it's just such a burden to bear. Another critical aspect is the struggle for control. Being excluded from royal activities likely made Meghan feel powerless and frustrated. Narcissists often react defensively when they perceive a loss of status or influence. This need for control can manifest in awkward or disruptive behaviors as individuals attempt to assert their presence in a situation where they feel diminished. Meghan's discomfort and desire to leave may be indicative of her struggle to maintain control over the narrative. Let's not overlook the fear of exposure. Meghan's reluctance to engage and the absence of physical affection with Harry, like not holding hands, could suggest an awareness of being scrutinized. Narcissists often fear judgment from others and may act defensively to protect their image. In a high-profile setting, like a royal event, this fear can lead to stilted interactions and a reluctance to show vulnerability, making them appear even more detached or uncomfortable. Meghan's peculiar, I was having a hard time saying that word. Behavior might also reflect a desire for attention, even if it's negative. Narcissists can thrive on any form of attention, positive or negative, as it validates their existence. By acting strangely or showing visible discomfort, Meghan could be ensuring that all eyes are on her, reinforcing her presence in the media narrative surrounding the royal family. And finally, let's consider the impact of isolation. If Meghan felt distance from the royal family, it could heighten her insecurities and intensify her need for affirmation. Isolation can exacerbate feelings of inadequacy, prompting narcissists to seek validation even more aggressively. In Meghan's case, this sense of being an outsider could fuel her emotional reactions, leading to behaviors that are both self-protective and attention-seeking. So, in conclusion, Meghan's behavior at the Commonwealth Day event reveals several narcissistic traits: this need for validation, this perceived slights, emotional manipulation, struggling for control, fear of exposure, a desire for attention, and the impact of isolation. And I'm curious to know, what do you all think? Do you all see this behavior in those clips that I showed, or was that not enough evidence to see how her behavior was a little bit strange that day, even though she usually does pull on Harry and have the mask slips, but that not holding hands thing, and she really was rushing out of there. All right, so I'm curious to know what you all think. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. Please share it with your friends. It helps the algorithm. So I really appreciate all of you that have been commenting and liking. And some of you are even commenting, like, doing this for the algorithm. And I appreciate that so much. That's so much kindness. You guys are all amazing. All right, well, I will talk to you all in the next video. Goodbye.